GodFest. 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 Now eat the GodFest. 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 GodFest.
All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We're about to get started. KT about to join us very shortly. Make sure, shout out to everybody who made it to the 90th of GodFest. If you didn't make it or if you didn't see it, make sure you join the Patreon for an opportunity. Now, I usually don't put my events on Patreon, but I decided to do it with this event because I didn't live stream it, and it was like a gift to the Patriots. But make sure y'all go to Patreon and check out that. I'm smiling because the chat, every show somebody's saying this now. Every show, if you see my book review video, I advise everybody go see it. We got our own little hidden messages. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start a book club, right? And in order to, because you want people who are serious about the information. And I made the announcement for the first show. So if you want to be a part of the book club, you got to know, how you got passwords, like the Masons be like, what's so-and-so, or the Nation of Gods and Earths be like, what's today's mathematics? And they got to be like, knowledge equals infinite wisdom. Time. Da, 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 da. So I will be like, what's in my pocket, dog? And then, what I'm saying? Then y'all got to say, what I'm saying? When I be like, what's in my pocket, dog? You know what I'm saying? If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you can't be a part of the book club. But the book club is about speaking a language to the divine cosmos. And we understand, if you've seen the episode, we understand what the language is. There's a certain language that the quantum field understands. So we using that in a modern way. We using that in a modern way with allows us to tap into our emotions. So yeah, y'all know my 300 know, you know what I'm saying? But there's a password required, you know what I'm saying? And I gotta ask you, I'm gonna be like, yo, well, why are we saying this? And you got to be able to explain it. So there's a password required to be a part of it. It ain't just about money, it ain't just about y'all give me $5 a month. There's an actual password. And you gotta know the password. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know the password. And that's how it should be, you know what I'm saying? So you can have the serious people a part of the book club. Oh, here go my brother KT right here. KT, what the fuck? What the fuck? Yo, wait. Where's KT at? Sir, can you get me KT the arts degree, sir? Excuse me, sir.
I told you.
What the fuck? Listen.
I told you.
Yo, you cut off the fro, man.
2025, bro.
Oh, man. Wow. My brother KT cut his fro off. I
told folks there was going to be a new beginning. There's a resurrection. There's a restart taking place right here.
Indeed, man. What's going on, my brother? What is going on, man?
Hey, man, had to let go of some energy.
Yo, KT, man.
Come on.
I was just about to ask you about that. Let's start this thing right away. Let's just, how you come into the game and you just shoot a 3 right away, and you just start running fast breaks. So KT, right. So my thing is, there's this whole movement in the Black community in terms of growing your natural hair, right? Mm-hmm. And brothers and sisters, like let's just say, for instance, my brother Yaki Awaken, he got the locks. We see a lot of other brothers with the locks. We see the brother Blue Pill with the afro, the non-ether afro. Right. Now, if you are, let's say you are going through something in life and, you're improving yourself and you feel like a new person. Mm-hmm. Now you feel like a new person. They say your hair is an extension of your nerves, but
Yes.
isn't your hair still the old you? So you have the new you and you got the old you right there. So should
That's
people?
that's exactly it. Like,
But how you gonna cut your locks though, KT?
but check it out. So I was trying to figure out, like, I was thinking about cutting my hair because hair's in cycles. You know, our body goes through 7-year cycles anyway.
Yeah,
And I've always grew my hair out, cut my hair ever since I was a kid. I had an afro as a kid. I cut it. I had locks when I was like
right.
20 in my 20s, cut them, afro cut it. So I do it after certain cycles. So I was thinking about the reason why I had grew my hair out, and a lot of time had passed. I had gone through a lot, right? So that hair is absorbing, transmuting, holding on, carrying that energy, kind of like when you see the rings of a tree. We talked about that before. That's how you can count the age of a tree, because of the rings that it collects. So I needed to release. I needed to start anew. I needed to start afresh, because with the planetary alignment that's taking place, right? The Aries alignment that's coming up on March 30th. Everything that's going on, I was like, yo, there's a shift and there's a change that needs to occur. And I was like, what is something that I can sacrifice and I can let go
Dope.
that can transmute into that power? And I was like, I know what time it is.
Mm.
So
Indeed,
I let it
indeed.
go. But no, I mean, people who grow in locks, they want them locks to grow down. Think about a lot of people that grow locks, and you think of Rosses and people in the islands. They're in a certain type of environment. They in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? They in the jungle. They're in the forest. They're connecting with that natural habitat. We ain't in that.
Mm, mm,
We getting smart dust. We getting chemtrails. We getting, you know what I'm saying?
mm,
So yeah, I wanted to get down to my roots,
mm.
know what I mean, and kind of revitalize, because it's like energy goes into the growth of hair. So I know in cutting it, I'll get to reserve and preserve a lot of my energy within inside that I know I'm going to need as we move forward. You know.
Indeed. Hey KT man, you got the ladies going crazy in the chat.
Oh
The
snap!
ladies is
What's up?
going, hey,
How
I
y'all
see
doing?
the ladies is choosing. They out
Hey,
here going crazy, man. All right.
hey, like, what's the name of the show again? How to keep it young? What is it? Rejuvenation? What we
Reverse
do?
agent,
Reversing
man.
age. I had to. It's
You
better to
got
show them than to talk about it, right?
all right, ladies.
Because
I see ya.
I'm about to be 44 this year, bro.
So, hey, man, you the perfect man for this conversation. Then
You know what I'm saying?
you the, you you
I'm 43, about to be 44 in the 2025.
KT. Let's have this conversation. So,
Let's
when it
go.
comes to reversing the aging process, I mean, this is something everybody. Now, well, a lot of people want to tap into. A lot of people are curious. People are eating healthy, exercising. People are. They say that the elites drink adrenochrome. I know you heard that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I wonder. We're talking. I wonder how they be living to like 90 and now. I'm like, damn, no motherfucker be living long. Queen Elizabeth and all the motherfuckers. But people do all types of stuff to maintain a youthful appearance. KT. So this is a very important topic to have. Science is improving, and
Mhm.
science is trying to figure out ways to do it as well. Um, just a general question to start the conversation, KT. What is the biggest thing, the biggest factor when it comes to aging us?
Mhm.
And what's the biggest factor when it comes to us maintaining a youthful appearance, KT?
Well, I've spoke about this before in regards to aging, and has everything to do with entropy, you know?
Right.
So entropy is chaos and disorder, and as we move through time, entropy increases. So what that means is time and entropy are entangled, they're connected. So then the element that one should consider is, okay, how do I utilize time then if time is the factor?
Mhm.
So if we know that when we get up late, you know, we're supposed to get up at 8 or 7 or something like that. We get up at 11. We start rushing. We running around, running errands all day. You look in the mirror, you looking exhausted, you looking
Mm,
tired, you irritable, you ain't yourself. You driving on the road trying to get somewhere, and there's that tractor. you know how that tractor or that bus or something be right in front of you. You can't get around it, right? So those type of days take place, and they take from you. They take your energy. Your energy ends up spilling out, right?
mm,
But when you create the consistent rhythm of the day where you get up on time and you have your things scheduled and you hitting each note, then what happens is you create a rhythm the same way you do in music when you're in that studio and you got that metronome and it's time to make a beat, you know, you make a particular rhythm and now you're creating a song. So as you live life through that song, you stay young. You know, you have to laugh because you know laughter is a big part of living a long life. You know, and you just want to make sure that you understand time like that. You can't let time get away from you. You got to get on time. You got to let time work for you. And when time starts working for you and you have a less stressful life, then your body's not going to be burning the candle on both ends anymore. You know, it's going to be way more of a flow, you know, creating a routine, you know. So, when you deal with environments now, of course, us being in more optimal environments, being outside more, being more in nature, being in the tropics, being at the beach, being in the forests, picking fruits, having a good time, all of this environmental and interaction of our social life will create a circumstance where once again we live longer. Because if we go down to St. Croix right now, Puerto Rico right now, Dominican Republic right now, Honduras right now, and you look at 80-year-old women, you know what I mean, that are walking miles with bags and bags of groceries like nothing. Skin is amazing, got calf muscles, you know what I'm saying? Wrinkles are very light, you know, so you have to balance the external environment with the internal environment, you know. And of course, I'm going to get into specific things in this small presentation that I put together. And I'm going to talk about the certain avenues that we have in our body that deal with anti-aging specifically.
Excellent.
You know,
KT, I want to ask, do you think homeless people age slower than that person who calls herself a law-abiding, productive citizen? Do you think
I
they
think
age
it depends because, you know, you got some people that are homeless because of drugs.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So they're addicts. So, you know, that pulls, you know,
yeah,
from their youth.
yeah,
But then you have the other ones that are really not homeless. They more like nomads. You know what I'm saying? They don't really claim any house, any one place they are. They're kind of like trekking,
yeah.
you know, and then they set up shop wherever they go.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, you'll see a lot of youth in them as well. Yeah, for sure. But that's what I'm saying. Like, we're not supposed to be living such stressful lives. When you're in fight and flight all the time, you're gonna age yourself immediately, immensely at a rapid pace. And you know, we have to live more. I'm not saying comfort. I'm not saying easy. You know what I'm saying? Or convenient. I'm just saying plan, stick to the plan, and create a rhythm that you can live by that's not as stressful to your heart and to your soul. One of the main things that you see, what's the difference between a grape and a raisin, Rich?
I guess
What's the
one is all wrinkly.
Yeah, but I'm
What?
saying, what is the one? What's, if you could say, what's the one difference between the two? What's the one element that's missing in one that the other one has?
Water.
What happens when you see people get old? They shriveling up. It's less water. You know what I'm saying? The more water we have, the more pure water, the more energetic water that we have flowing through our body, the more impactful, the more stronger, the better our pathways flow, the better our mitochondria is, the better our neurons start firing, you know. So staying hydrated, you know, because we're so much water, with 80% water, you know what I mean? When you look at fruit, you know, I just mentioned a grape and a raisin, but you see any fruit on a tree and you picking one, you could tell which one's dry versus which one is succulent. You know what I'm saying? You going after succulent fruit. What makes something succulent? What makes something juicy? Water. You know, so making sure you get that water and not just retaining it, you know, so you got edema, but you know that water is able to move. That water is able to be the natural battery that's providing the energy that you need, is reacting with the melanin and with the sunlight, doing the work that it needs to do. You know.
A couple more questions before you bring us this presentation, KT.
Sure.
You talked about the water element. The reason why I asked the homeless question is because homeless people diets aren't what, you know, the health experts say they should be. but they seem to sometimes they seem to age. And what made me think about it in particular, I remember when I was 20, I think my mother passed away when I was about 25, KT.
Okay.
And I remember when she passed away, I'm living in New York at this time, and I'm riding the train a lot. And I used to see this homeless person on the train all the time. And I'm like, damn, my mother, she died from kidney disease. And I'm like, damn, man, I wonder what makes them stay alive. So like some of the homeless people I see, I'm like, they look healthy, they look happy. I see my mother suffer on dialysis for years. I'm like, damn, I wonder what it is about these homeless people that they able to live 15 years on the street. Since I'm young, I'm seeing them. They look like they just, they just in their own world. So that's what made me think about that.
There ain't no time.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Dana,
yeah,
think of how much we're looking at our clock, how much we're looking at our watch.
yeah,
Everything that has time on it, a receipt that you get, your parking validation, reservations, like
everything just
right, this, that is just time. Gotta be on time, gotta get here, gotta no. Like you don't make any time for yourself to just sit in the moment and actually go within and listen on, oh man, what is the direction I'm supposed to go? You're not doing that.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? You are following the path that is put forth by factors that are inside of society that you think you have to adhere to.
mm-hmm,
You know,
mm-hmm,
and it pulls and it drains. We saw the Matrix. We are all BTUs. We are all batteries and energy for the environment to tap into, for society to tap into. And
mm-hmm,
if you are not safe with your energy and your space and your spirit, then someone is going to tap into it. They're going to utilize it. They're going to convert it and transmute it into something that could power them. And as they are being empowered, you are being powered down. You know what I mean? I know there's been times you've gotten up, after a couple days, things ain't been going right, and you tired. You go look in the mirror and you like, yo, who is that?
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? And the minute you get back on it, you start drinking green juice and eating your fruit, doing a couple push-ups, jogging, going for a walk, get some sun. You look back at yourself and it's like 10 years done went away.
right. KT, is there any truth to people, I've heard plenty of times that women age faster than men. Is there any truth to that? They say when the girls mature faster, when they're younger, get more,
Development, they develop
yeah.
faster because so with men, we have to build our value up while women are born with their value. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody like handing nothing over to you as a kid or as a young adult. You got to go out there, you got to get it.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk up to some woman, if you got some game, you cool, but they ain't trying to hear nothing you got to say. You have to build an empire.
Right.
And that takes time. That ain't happening until between 35 and 50. That's happening, right?
Right.
But women, the minute that they 18, 19, they billionaires, internally with their value. They walk down the street, a billionaire man will pull over and say, look, I will give you the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So their body is designed to, give birth and create family and everything like that. So they develop at a quicker rate in respect to that, where our development is a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
But even though they develop quicker, they actually live longer. They live longer, and that's because they're supposed to be protected, they're supposed to be kept, they're supposed to be taken care of. And in the love of family and nurturing and that reciprocated energy that takes place, that empowers them, that makes them live longer. They have a study that states that fathers that have daughters live longer than fathers that have sons. They said for every daughter you have, you get an extra 74 weeks on your life.
Wow.
And sons make no difference.
Wow.
But you notice in couples, the wife usually outlives the husband, but usually after the husband passes right after, not because of health reasons, but because of that resonance and that connection that they had together,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do since you're talking about husbands and wives, what's your and I know I've talked to people about this before. I think I've talked to more the spiritual community that deal with like Hank Rising Sun and stuff. We have this conversation about semen retention.
Mhm.
What is your thoughts on aging and semen retention? How important is semen retention when it comes to aging?
Well, that's our lifeline as males, between
Yeah.
our prostate and our testicles, the production, of that tonic, so to speak, inside of our body gives us great virility. I mean, if you are with a mate and y'all are resonating and building energy, then that semen can see, even in its ejaculated state, it can still be used for building and for growth and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Um, if you're with somebody that you ain't supposed to be with, then whether you retaining it or giving it, that thing's still gonna affect you, because of the dynamic that y'all have. But to recycle, to ejaculate, yeah, you are able to reabsorb all of those nutrients because a drop of sperm, I mean, a drop of semen is beyond gold. That thing like Californium or something. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, man.
So
Wow.
reabsorbing all that nutrients and that light, because that's another thing. It's not just minerals and it's not just enzymes and everything like that. It carries light. It's the all spark, because the woman is receiving, the egg is receiving you. That sperm is that spark that gives it that power to build infinite mass and start to create this form. The woman has the mass and the magnetic field energy that governs the shape and form of the child as it builds, but it needs like a nuclear reaction to carry that thing on through, and that's what the man gives. He pretty much Allahu Akbars, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
and releases his spirit in the soul. That's another reason why the mitochondria is passed down by the woman. A lot of people be like, um trying to put the sexes against each other. Oh, the woman's better because no, is not a better. Everything is compatible and an energy exchange. What's happening is the fact that the man just sacrificed all his power,
Mm,
all his mitochondria blew up to
mm,
infuse into that egg, right?
mhm,
So that the woman's mitochondria would not, and
mhm.
that baby can build. So yeah, you don't want to pass that mitochondria down. That thing shot. You know what I mean? Like we sacrificed ourselves for it. So yeah, that's the difference.
And with the conversation about sex and this is the essence of life. This is how life is created when a man and woman gets together. With semen, does this make a woman more youthful? Like if she's sexual promiscuous, does that they be like them hoes? They be hot. They be like them. They
Oh, you mean if a woman is promiscuous and
yeah,
she's
and
getting oh
she has all these partners and she's getting semen from different places,
yeah,
and
nah,
what I'm saying.
women retain the memory and the information from all those partners.
Mm,
They are it's like she's a hotel and they all got a room booked, even though they checked out.
shit.
They still got rooms there.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And this is where a lot of the personalities that happen with these women are when they be flipping and tripping and everything like that is
Yeah.
because they're tapping into all of these deposits that took place over time. And
Mhm.
that's not to say that a woman can't purge, a woman can't cleanse. That can definitely happen. But I feel in a lot of cases, most women don't even know that's something that they've going through or that they've gone through. So they don't know anything needs to be done.
Mhm.
And that's even if they can receive the info on that, because they'll probably get very offended, that
Yeah.
what you mean? And no, this is me.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things when people have a youthful appearance, if you go on social media, one of the first things they'll say is that with their routine, they'll say how they put cold water every morning when they wake up. They
Yes.
put cold water in their face. In our
Mhm.
society, we're used to hot baths, hot tubs, and
Yeah,
water being warm.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, what is the science of cold water making your face more youthful?
Yeah, the heat shock proteins you have. So whenever the body goes into a shock
Hmm.
where it thinks it's going to die, then the
Hmm.
body's going to produce certain elements and certain enzymes, proteins, and factors to save the body from death. So when you submerge yourself in cold water submersion, or you put your face in cold water, that rapid change of temperature and then it being constant for a period of time stimulates and activates your DNA to start producing these heat shock proteins.
Mhm,
And
mhm,
what they essentially do is they end up, because you're not dying and you're still alive,
mhm,
and that same energy and power is now used to create a youthful look.
mhm.
Because dead to life, that's an extreme youthful look right there when you go from dead to alive. So if you alive and take it, then you're gonna look even more alive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, and then with us, with the warm, the reason why the warm helps in other instances is because when you think of warm water, you're just thinking of water that is hot. You're not thinking of the light in that water. And if you were to put some glasses on to see spectra, to see color, you would find out that warm water is saturated with infrared.
Mm,
So hot showers, hot baths, steams, that's infrared. And the
mm,
reason why infrared helps with health so much is because now what you're doing is light is penetrating deep inside the tissue.
mm,
You're hitting the mitochondria. You're
mhm,
going to cytochrome 4, cytochrome oxidase. You're bypassing the whole electron transport chain that is fueled by you eating food and it transporting electrons. And now your light is going directly to cytochrome 4, cytochrome oxidase, and powering that in order to create power and energy. And by saving all of that energy and making the mitochondria more efficient, working directly off light, that also creates a de-aging mechanism inside the body.
excellent, excellent.
I know when I be talking, it's like, yeah, my brother, with the hyperbolic with the hyperbolic chambers of such, you know what I'm saying? I know folks be like, what is this man even talking about? Just pause and rewind and write each word down and go look that thing up and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. I promise you, I'm not Damon Wayans from A Living
Oh
Color.
man,
You know
oh
what I'm
man.
saying?
I remember them episodes, man. I remember them
Yeah,
episodes.
my brother. I just want to talk about the iterations of such fabulations and fabrications.
What let's check out your presentation, KT.
Oh,
Out there, we
all
got
right. Yeah, let me
yeah.
let
Shout out to
me.
everybody in the chat. We're talking about the science of reverse aging. We're about to get into this quick presentation. We're gonna do a quick Q&A after that. But shout out to everybody. By the way, family, tomorrow Ra Cool will be on the channel. So y'all could
Right,
tune
cool.
in
Oh, he's talking
tomorrow.
about the Neptune and Aries about to pop
No,
off and all that.
tomorrow, he's talking about calendars tomorrow. And
Okay,
he did some recent research on calendars and ancient calendars that he want to bring us some information that he said is new that he got. Not new, but that he
I better
recently
tap in
discovered.
because Ra
Yeah.
cool. Whenever he stepped forward, he ain't playing.
Oh, here we go. You know, now we gonna get heavy now. All these big words now.
Here
Okay.
we go. I tried to told you.
Get KT. Get my
But
brother.
yeah, all of this because spring's up on us. We just did the parasite purge. Big shout out for everybody that jumped on that fast. And in the detoxing of the worms and the parasites, us moving into spring, we want to move into the revival. So now I have the spring revival package. Spring revival package is a beautiful package that has everything that you need. I'm going to talk about some of them items in this presentation, but in doing that, we're going to talk about this anti-aging situation as well. All right. Now, um, there's an immortal jellyfish. I've brought this up before on the channel with you, Rich, which is an animal that is immortal.
Right. I remember.
Yeah, every time that it gets to a certain age that would be close to being an elder, being old and crippled, it reverts back to being a baby. It Benjamin Buttons. And as long as it ain't eaten or murdered, because it can't do nothing about that, obviously, but as long as it evades predators and it continues to live, it never dies. And studying animals like that and understanding those pathways gives you a better glimpse of, okay, what are some of the avenues within inside myself that I can ride down that will give me similar powers and similar abilities, right? So reversing aging, sirtuins, telomeres, and AMPK pathways, a scientific exploration of herbal and natural compounds for longevity. What I have here is a picture of a bongo. A bongo is a herbal blend for the lungs. We can go years without eating. We can go weeks, almost months without drinking, but you are going but a minute without breath and air. And our respiration is everything. We are pneumatic beings. It's based on pressure and the way that the prana moves. And this here is like a duck flower for your lungs. And it's a very aromatic herb as well, blend. So just inhaling the fumes is very good, but drinking the tea is going to cause your lungs to go into like contractions and start pushing all that stuff out, making them strong and increasing the lung capacity so you can start breathing deeper. But we'll get into bongo later. All right. Introduction to aging reversal. Aging is driven by molecular mechanisms such as DNA damage, metabolic decline, and cellular stress. By activating sirtuins, preserving telomeres, and stimulating AMPK, we can promote longevity and cellular rejuvenation. Now, there's other pathways of age reversal, but I wanted to focus on these three because I didn't want to just do too much. But we're going to go through each three of these and see what they are. This is a picture of some chromosomes right here because we're going to be talking about telomeres, which are related to the chromosome. All right, but first we're getting into the sirtuins. All right, the sirtuins are master regulators of cellular longevity. These things are specifically designed for longevity and keeping you young. All right. SIRT1 to SIRT7 are NAD plus dependent. That is nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Y'all have been seeing the NAD supplements on the market, so y'all should recognize that word at least. NAD plus dependent enzymes that regulate gene expression. Gene expression is important because genes are what? They're on the DNA. Expressing a gene is you pulling a particular gene to make a thing in your body. It being an enzyme, it being a protein, it being some type of chemical to create a certain function, a certain ability, a certain thing to take place, a certain action in your body. All right. So enzymes that regulate gene expression, mitochondrial health, and stress resistance, because stress is the killer, bro. Oh my God. These natural compounds activate sirtuins to enhance DNA repair and energy metabolism. So the word sirtuins originates from the acronym SIR, like yes, sir, which stands for Silent Information Regulator. The full name is derived from the discovery of SIR2, which is Silent Information Regulator 2 gene in yeast, which was found to regulate gene silencing and aging. So the breakdown of the acronym is S is for silent, I is for information, R is for regulator, T is for two from SIR2, the founding member, where they found it first. And then the UNs is not an acronym, but added to denote the protein family SIRT1 through SIRT7. So there's different sirtuins. There's a SIRT1, there's a SIRT2, there's a SIRT3, a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 7. They all do different things. Thus, sirtuins are a family of silent information regulated proteins that control gene expression, DNA repair, metabolism, and longevity by modifying the DNA structure and the cellular processes. I don't think that was too hard. Now, natural compounds that activate sirtuins. All right. As I spoke about the abongo, that was the picture you saw first, right? This is the polyphenols. Those are those light compound rings inside the plant, such as the quercetin, right? The myricetin, the catechins, they enhance SIRT1 activity, and it reinforces mitochondrial oxidative phosphorylation efficiency. What does that mean? The mitochondria perform something called oxidative phosphorylation. This is mitochondria making ATP. ATP being the battery of the cell, and also the mechanism that is able to unfold and refold DNA so that it can get wrapped around by water. So when infrared light hits it, it can split, and it can split the water, and it can get that energy. All right. So ATP plays that role inside the body. Eucalyptus derived terpenoids exhibit anti-glycation effects. Okay, so getting the glycated coverings off of the blood cells and off of the tissues, all that sugar that gets covered all over the body, and reduces non-enzymatic protein damage, which is a major contributor to aging. Your proteins in your body being denatured, being broken down. If you see a building that stands strong, but you go inside and you start beating up the lumber and chewing up the foundation, then you go back outside, you'll notice the building is leaning. You'll notice cracks in the building. You'll notice chipping of the paint on the outside. That's because of the structure on the inside breaking down. Tea de Réunion, which is kidney tea, which is rich, is a blend. All right, both of these are blends. Rich in lignans, flavonoids, alkaloids. These are all plant-based molecules. This herbal tea influences the SIRT1 AMPK axis. So it connects these two mechanisms. AMPK we'll be getting into in the end, right? And promoting metabolic flexibility, all right? The flexibility of your metabolic processes, and also mitochondrial biogenesis. Biogenesis meaning creation of more mitochondria. So you create more mitochondria, you're creating more energy dynamics, you're creating more metabolic processes, you're creating more ways to transmit and utilize light in the body. The flavonolingin, long word, which is a lignin and a flavonoid that's like combined, right? Phylanthin, this is a certain molecule inside this tea, induces the expression of PGC1 alpha, a co-activator of sirtuins that enhances antioxidant defense. All right, so this molecule inside this tea induces the expression. We was talking about genes expressions, right? Gene expression making certain proteins. So it induces, it activates the creation of this PGC1 alpha, which is a co-activator of the sirtuins that we are discussing right now, and it enhances antioxidant defense. Damiana, we've heard of Damiana before, great for reproductive, and aphrodisiac. You can also smoke it. Contains apigenin, pinocembrin, and acacetin, flavonoids known to increase SIRT1 expression in neuronal cells, reduce an oxidative stress induced neurodegeneration. The plant's essential oils act as mild anxiolytics, reducing anxiety, which indirectly supports longevity by lowering the chronic stress biomarkers such as cortisol. Yes. All right, I'm going through these herbs one by one. These are the herbs that are inside this spring revival package. These are herbs that are also on the site, but getting it in the package, I think if you got all these things, it'd be like $620 or something like that, and it's $350. So it's pretty much cut in half. You know what I'm saying? So you getting all these herbs and a couple other items as well in here to have your spring revival. But we're going to also talk about some other items that you probably have in your house, things you could do every day, so you don't have to go to the site. But if y'all want to go to the site and support, this is what I suggest you do. Cuculmeca, a potent adaptogen containing saponins and steroidal alkaloids that interact with SIRT3. So you see that's SIRT3, right? And SIRT5. Remember, it's 1 through 7. So Cuculmeca, while you got these other elements that's rocking SIRT1, now you got something that got the SIRT3 and the SIRT5. So when you go through all of these different herbs in a combination of this package, you'll see that all the SIRTs get covered. Certainly. So modulating mitochondrial metabolism and electron transport chain efficiency. The triterpenes in Cuculmeca reduce reactive oxygen species, therefore mitigating mitochondrial DNA damage. We have Toranjal, also known as lemon balm. This is a Mexican variety. I know y'all have heard of this before, especially for those that are dealing with herpes. This is a big herb for venereal diseases. It exhibits a high concentration of rosmarinic acid, which you find a lot in rosemary, that helps with memory loss, which has been shown to upregulate SIRT1 and SIRT6. So see, now we got 6, we got 1, we got 3, we got 5, we got 6 already. All right. Enhancing chromatin stability and reducing inflammation-induced genomic instability. We have a herb that's not even on the site. I haven't even put it up yet. And this is an amazing herb. It's called Flor de Manita, which means hand flower, because the flower is shaped like a hand. All right. It's a beautiful flower that grows in the tropics, and it's amazing for the heart. So anybody that deals with heart conditions, heart issues, palpitations, things like that, Flor de Manita works very well with the heart. You know, so rich in gallic acid and tannins, which act as SIRT1 modulators. This plant supports endothelial function, improving microvascular integrity, a critical factor in longevity. Sotriol D, y'all know that's the vitamin D that we carry, acts on SIRT1 VDR, which is a vitamin D receptor interaction, reinforcing DNA repair mechanisms and mitochondrial bioenergetics. Studies suggest vitamin D enhances SIRT3 mediated oxidative phosphorylation, crucial for cellular longevity. All right. And we got Geefy tea, which is one of Rich's favorites. Big shout out to Mr. G and all of the Garifuna. This is the Garifuna bitter, straight from Honduras. Contains plant-derived salicylates, coumarins, and alkaloids that enhance SIRT1 mediated anti-inflammatory pathways while modulating AMPK dependent lipid metabolism. So it's burning excess fat. It's dealing with anti-inflammatory pathways. It's helping with the immune system, and it's also giving you a gang of energy. And a combination of the herbs, because this is a tonic in itself that you drink, is going to get rid of these what you would call zombie cells, because you have cells essentially that have so many damaged parts that they appear dead, but they're not. They're still alive. It's like I was just talking about cutting my hair, my afro. It got to the point, it felt like it was holding on to too much negative things that needed to go, chapters of my life I had to shut the door on and get rid of, right? So the zombie cells are these cells that they seem like they're dead, but they're still alive. They're like zombies, and they're still usurping all of this energy, right? And force out of you in order to kind of keep their zombie cell state going, like they eating brains, right? You know what I'm saying? Like in the movies and stuff. And you want to either be able to resurrect, get that zombie thing out of it so it becomes a full-fledged powerful cell, or you want to just, you know, have it go through apoptosis so it can go away, you know. So we have those inside of our bodies as well. Nesu nectar contains phenolic acids, caffeic, ferulic, analogic acids, as well as another like 120 of these phenols and flavonoids that stimulate SIRT1 and SIRT6, supporting genomic stability. Genomic stability. What does that mean? The stability of your genome, baby. Stability of your DNA. Okay, the 6 feet of DNA that is in the trillions of cells that when you put together can span the length of the Milky Way. That genome. All right, and reducing pro-inflammatory cytokine expression. Purple Chondrus crispus, sea moss, which is rich in what? Stem cells and carotenoids and pigments. The sea moss gel is stem cells. What are stem cells? Stem cells are the base code cells that can be incorporated anywhere in your body and become a liver cell and become an enterocyte, you know, inside of the intestines, and become a neuron and become a cardiocyte inside of your heart. You know, this is what the Chondrus crispus is for. And by it being purple, you know, having that color, them anthocyanins, them microsporin like amino acids, those carotenoids, all of those colors and those pigments add to that and accelerates autophagy. Autophagy is what Yoshi Nora Osumi won the Nobel Peace Prize for some years ago for fasting. It was because he talked about autophagy and fasting. That's what happens. So the CMOS accelerates autophagy, where your body starts to eat itself, but gets rid of those zombie cells, eating all of that trash and getting rid of that waste, reducing inflammation, promoting lipid oxidation. So that's the sirtuins. All right. Y'all still with me?
Yeah, we here.
All right, all right. So now the telomeres, all right, telomere preservation, protecting DNA. So here I was talking about the chromosomes. On the tip of the chromosomes, you have your telomeres, which are like the aglets, which are the ends of your shoestring. So I got this image of this brother right here, with shoelaces in his hands, so you can visualize your DNA organized as a chromosome, and that the tip of those DNAs are like the tips of the shoelaces. And those tips are what are called the telomeres. And the telomeres protect the ends of chromosomes. Their length is linked to longevity. And natural compounds help maintain telomeres by reducing oxidative stress and activating telomerase, which is an enzyme. Anything that ends in ASE is an enzyme. So this is an enzyme for telomeres that help to keep the telomere length long. And as the telomeres get short, right, they get shorter, they hit something called the Hayflick limit. The Hayflick limit is the limit in which diseases start to ensue because of the shortening of the telomere. So natural compounds supporting telomere integrity, going back through these same items in this package, the Abongo, polyphenols in this blend inhibit oxidative damage to telomeres by neutralizing reactive oxygen species, a prime driver of telomere attrition. Attrition is the weakening of the telomeres, the breaking down, the shortening of the telomeres. That's the term of it. All right. Now, you're going to hear me say reactive oxygen species a few times, and it always gets a bad rap, but reactive oxygen species is actually a good thing too in the mitochondria, because it's a signaling mechanism to kind of let the rest of the cell know that things are happening. So when I say neutralizing, it's not so much, oh, it's bad, we got to get rid of it. It's more of stabilizing. It's more of modulating, so that it's being used properly and it's not happening too much. Because when there's too much reactive oxygen species, that's when you start having crazy inflammation going on. But when it's controlled, it's really more of like fiber optics, you know what I mean? Really communicating something. Te de Rignon got the lignins and the tannins that modulate TERT. TERT is telomerase reverse transcriptase, all right, which is another enzyme, right, that helps with, that deals with reducing telomere shortening. So the telomere does not shorten, it stays its length or it gets longer. Damiana, rich in flavonoids that stabilize telomeric loops, T loops, preventing chromosomal fusion. All right. So sometimes chromosomes fuse and certain aspects of the DNA link together that are not supposed to be linked. And this could lead to mutations and certain expressions of genes that really are not in your genome. It's like if you had your grandmother's cookbook and 2 pages got stuck together and you ripped the page apart. And now the recipe from the right page got on the left page and the recipe from the left page got on the right page. And you can't tell the difference. So you go in the kitchen, you start to cook. And now what type of pie did you just make? You know what I'm saying? You just made a chickpea and mayonnaise Brussels sprout souffle with whipped cream. Some crazy nonsense. So this is what happens with the chromosomal fusion, and you have these mutations and this incorrect expression, and senescence induced inflammation. Senescence is aging, so aging induced inflammation. The cucumeca contains diosgenin and steroidal saponins, which upregulate telomerase activity while reducing inflammatory damage to the telomere ends. Toranjal exhibits neuroprotective effects via telomere stabilization mediated by the rosmarinic acid and ursolic acid. Flor de manita, the tannins and the polyphenols function as telomerase activators, preventing stress-induced telomere degradation. Sotriol D is associated with longer leukocyte telomere length mediated by this regulation of TRF2, a telomere binding protein. GFT, certain herbal components in the GFT exert telomerase-inducing effects, particularly via anti-inflammatory pathways. The Nesu nectar, stingless bee honey, phenolic compounds reduce telomere oxidation, mitigating chromosomal senescence. And the purple conscious crispus, the sulfated polysaccharides, those are the chains, you know, when you talk about it gelling up, you know, the carrageenan is composed of sulfated polysaccharides of galactose from sea moss, protect the telomeric DNA from oxidative stress, slowing telomere attrition. All right, so that's the telomeres. And lastly, the AMPK activation, enhancing metabolism and autophagy. AMPK stands for AMP activated protein kinase. That's adenosine monophosphate. You got adenosine monophosphate, you got adenosine diphosphate, and then you got the star of the show, adenosine triphosphate, also known as ATP, is a metabolic master switch that promotes energy balance, mitochondrial health, and cellular detoxification through autophagy. All right. So once again, we're going to run through these. Abongo, the catechins and the terpenoids activate AMPK, stimulating mitochondrial efficiency. In the kidney tea, rich in flavonoids that enhance AMPK signaling, promoting lipid oxidation and autophagic clearance of damaged mitochondria. It's cleaning the trashy mitochondria up out of there. Damiana exhibits AMPK activating effects by increasing PGC1 alpha expression. We spoke on this earlier, enhancing mitochondrial respiration. All right. Cocoa Mecca, the saponins trigger AMPK mediated lipolysis. That's the splitting of lipids, breaking the fats down. And then remember, fats can be taken into the mitochondria for energy. You burn only about 34, you make about 34 ATP through a glucose molecule. You make about 157 ATPs burning some fat. So in lipolysis, you're going to end up creating more energy by the breaking down of the fat and it going through the mitochondrial cellular respiration. Improving metabolic resilience. Toronjo contains oxalic acid, a known AMPK activator, promoting glucose metabolism. Flor de Moneda, rich in antioxidants that stimulate APK signaling, enhancing autophagic processes. Sotriol D, vitamin D, enhancing AMPK phosphorylation, reinforcing mitochondrial biogenesis, more mitochondria being made. GFT, certain herbs in this blend function as metabolic adaptogens. Okay, adaptogens, adapting the body to the different circumstances, keeping it from getting wear and tear, activating AMPK. Nesu nectar polyphenols activate AMPK, reducing insulin resistance and promoting autophagy. Purple conscious crispus, the sulfated polysaccharides stimulate AMPK pathways, promoting mitochondrial renewal. Conclusion, synergistic anti-aging pathways by leveraging these botanicals, polyphenols, adaptogens, and metabolic regulators. These natural compounds synergistically activate the sirtuins, right? Certs 1 through 7. Y'all know what that is now, right? The silent, right? Regulators, right? The shoelaces protect telomeres, okay? And the switch stimulate AMPK, fundamentally reversing aging at a cellular and biochemical level. This trifecta enhances mitochondrial efficiency, reduces oxidative stress, modulates inflammation, and preserves genomic stability, creating a robust anti-aging paradigm. All of those are found in the Spring Revival package at soionicbotanicals.com.
All right, all right. And with that being said, man, how y'all like that? I see y'all in the chat. A couple of people had questions. We're gonna get into that.
Getting some questions.
You know what I'm saying? That them herbs ain't no joke, family. I've done taken some of them, and we gotta understand. We gotta understand how important. Wait, how do I what happened now?
I hit stop screen by mistake. There it is. Yeah, it's back up now.
No, I'm trying to. Okay, I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, okay. I see. I see what happened.
There
Okay.
I go.
All right.
There I go. There I go.
Let's. We're gonna get to some questions from the chat about reverse aging, keeping a youthful appearance, and all that good stuff. All right. So let's get some questions. I want to get to some questions. A brother had a question earlier in the show. My brother Precise, he wanted to know how can he bring his hairline back. KT.
Yeah, that's Bontana oil. That's Bontana oil, and then you also need to get Quina Roja and Guasima fruit. You're gonna make a tea from the Quina Roja, and you're gonna crush the Guasima fruit. You're gonna make a tea from that too. You're gonna strain both of those, and you're gonna do those as hair washes. That's gonna clean the scalp. That's gonna activate the scalp, and you're gonna use Bontana oil, all right, in your hair, and that's gonna help to grow and start bringing that thickness and the lushness back.
All right, all right. Let's get to another question. Give me a second, family. All right, is there one item that can lower your cortisol? We was talking about stress. What? Yeah.
Yeah. So the Tarangel is gonna help with that. The Valerian will help with that. Any anxiolytic, any calming herb, chamomile, blue lotus, all of those stress relievers, all right, anxiolytics, things that anything that says relieving anxiety means relieving stress. If you're relieving stress, cortisol is a stress hormone. You see what I'm saying? So this package is for that. You're gonna lower cortisol levels with these herbs.
AKT, is there such thing as good stress, bad stress?
Yeah, it is good stress. Working out is good stress.
Right.
You know what I mean? Dancing with your woman in the bedroom, that's some good stress too, right?
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? Sparring. You know what I mean? If you box or you do martial arts, that's good stress. You know what I mean?
All right, let's get to another question. Try to keep the question centered around the topic. I know KT deals with the health, but let's try to
They like, yo, no, I got him up here. I'm about to ask this man. Well, I got him now.
Let's try to keep it centered around the topic, family, while we're here and while we're talking about this. KT, they want to know, how do you get rid of gray hair, KT?
Copper. Got to increase that copper. So all copper rich foods and all copper rich greens, you want to get that in there. Bontana oil as well. Bontana oil repigments the hair over time.
Doesn't you said copper, isn't that like pumpkin seeds or something?
Yeah,
or?
pumpkin seeds have it, and holy basil. There's a lot of copper rich foods out there, a lot of zinc. And anytime you're doing copper rich foods, you want to have zinc rich foods too, because they work synergistically together. But that's the key. You just want to get more copper in your diet. Oh yeah, Rising Power to Roy Ayers, and I find that interesting. He passed today, which with a giant in the music industry. That man done laid so many wonderful works down for our people, and he was known for his fro. I was like, oh man, yeah, it is time to let everybody know. You know what I'm saying? Because he checked up out of here. So Rising Power to Roy Ayers.
Indeed. Let's keep this thing going. Hold up.
And just so y'all know, I just dropped the large bottle of honey. This is the size that you get. This is like getting 4 jars, but for the price of 3. So this is so you can have them tablespoons every day, put it in your tea, put it on your skin. You know what I mean? You'll be able to have it for more usage, and it's gonna last indefinitely. That golden nectar right there.
Yeah, that's the joint right there, family. I gotta see you soon too, man.
Time to re-up, huh?
Yeah, man. It's that time.
Time to re-up.
Okay, another question. Okay, from Zay. Can you use certain frequencies or wavelengths to reverse aging?
Definitely, that's what we were talking about infrared earlier. So coupling infrared with ultraviolet helps a lot. But yeah, doing infrared saunas, having infrared lights, being out in the morning, catching the first AM light, which is that infrared. That's why the sun is that color when you're looking at it. So remember, color is frequency, color is wavelength. So definitely that. Also, music. My daughter, man, big shout out to my daughter. She just had a science project. Her class had a science project, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the she thought of three things, and the one she picked, she came up with this on her own. She was like, um, does music affect the heartbeat?
Mm.
So I got her a heart monitor, right? And she had her test subjects, right? And she had the headphones and everything. She had three different types of music, and the person was, that she got the bass line first, breathing and everything, and then she went ahead and started playing the songs and testing their heartbeat, and the different songs had very different frequencies on that heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? So she had the little trifold presentation and went up there, and she was like, "Yeah, so in music, music is based on rhythm, and based on the rhythm and the frequency of the song, we either like the song, we dance to the song, we sing the song and everything like that." And she was like, your heart also has a beat, and your health and your livelihood is based on the rhythm and the beat that your heart has. So it only makes sense that your heart should be able to influence music, because some of the greatest songs is based on what somebody had in their heart. And also based on the song you're listening to, that should also affect how the heart. This is what she presented in front of her
Genius.
class. I was like,
Genius. No, genius.
my
Genius.
baby.
Genius, man.
That's my extra 74 weeks right there.
Oh man.
Saying 74 on that.
Right there, huh? Oh man.
But
Yo,
yeah, frequencies and wavelengths, definitely. I was just trying to get into music. Put your iPhone down, right? Put that radio player away. Pull that vinyl out. Pull out that vinyl. Okay. My baby bought me a record player, you know what I'm saying, this past holiday season. So I've been collecting records this whole time. All the songs I like, albums I like, we've been going to all the record stores, getting records and everything. It's just a total different vibe when you play a record, you know what I'm saying, than when you just listening to something, you know what I mean? So yes, frequencies, wavelengths definitely assist with the aging and reversing aging.
shout out to before we continue, we're gonna do about 4 more questions. Shout out to the one, the only Mr. G.
Hey, Mr. G
What?
in the
The
building.
only Mr.
Hey,
G.
what's going on? Salute.
Hey, I appreciate the super chat. Mr. G always come through and show love in the super chat, man. You talk about showing support,
Mr.
and love being an action word and showing love. Mr. G always come through, man. So I appreciate it, my brother. I
The
truly
Guerrero Gorilla, aka Mr. Bontana, aka Mr. Geefity himself.
Oh man, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. He keep telling me I gotta go to his land out there, KT.
You
I'm
tripping.
yeah, he keep telling me.
You tripping, bro. What you waiting for?
Hey man, I don't know, man.
Come on, man. Let's
no
go.
excuse, man.
You want to knock about 10 years off, bro? That's
Uh,
the one right there.
Shit, man. Yeah, shout out to that brother right there. Let's now I don't even know how to pronounce some of these words here, KT. Are you familiar with Trun?
True nitrogen, nicotinamide riboside chloride. So nicotinamide, that's touching on the NAD that I was talking about earlier. This is a supplement that they have on the market right now. I am familiar with it. I haven't deep dived into it to see if it helps or it doesn't help, but I can look into it more. But I am familiar with the product.
Okay. And a sister. Wait, where's the sister at? Rich, my question again, please. Should women also refrain from releasing during sex? I'm not speaking of a loose woman.
Releasing what? You talking about an orgasm?
Goddess, could you elaborate on that for my brother KT? Could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, releasing what?
Let's keep this thing going. Can having a youthful energy or mindset affect the aging process? You always hear people say you're only as old as you feel.
Facts. Yes. 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 You know what I'm saying? Act like a child. I mean, not like immature, like you can't take care of your business. But yeah, keep it light, keep it youthful, have fun, play games. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, play tag, go skipping. You know what I'm saying? You and your girl tickle each other or something. You know what I mean? If you got children, play with them like from their perspective though. Don't be daddy or don't be mommy playing with your kid. Be like a kid again with them because they're already there. So you get to be that way. Sometimes I become so childish, they be checking me. They be like, yo, daddy, stop.
Mm,
Like grow up. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So yeah, have that youthful energy, play, have fun, because that opens up the heart chakra. That's the bridge, right? For the upper three and the lower three. And that's really where the youth really comes in. You know, the more laughter that you have in life, the younger you're gonna be.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed. Um, a question I got for you, KT. Does when we talk about stress, and the stresses of society, like what about people that may have disabilities and they like maybe they can't speak or they can't hear or they can't see?
Mhm.
Do you think that allows them to age at a different rate than a person who has all of their senses available?
Now listen, it depends on how you're using it because Ribbon in the Sky, Secret Life of Plants,
Mm.
isn't she lovely?
Stevie.
Huh? Huh?
Stevie. Stevie, yeah.
That man started when he was what, 13 or something?
Mm.
And he's still going. He was just on the Grammys, right? With Herbie Hancock.
I ain't seen him
Like
in a while. I haven't seen him in a while.
he was on the bench. Herbie Hancock was playing the piano
Yeah.
and he was playing his harmonica.
Oh man.
Right? This man blind. He play every instrument. This man be jamming, dancing. I just saw the documentary Summer of Soul. Awesome documentary Questlove did.
Hmm.
And he's in there. And if you see that man set, this man got up and jumped up on a chair.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying? He turned around and jumped up on a chair. So they just dropped on Disney Plus Daredevil Born Again. And we know Matt Murdock, what his power is, right? He's blind, but homeboy he's like tossed from the Avatar, from the last Airbender. Like he's able, all his other senses is just super duper sharp.
Yeah.
You know, so that can definitely reverse aging because you're gonna be producing things that you normally wouldn't have.
Hmm.
You know, so I think it's all relative and it all depends. You know, if that person is in a very stressful existence, and they don't have no outlet. You know, Stevie got an outlet. He got his music. You know what I'm saying? Somebody might have martial arts. Another person might have painting. Another, if they have an outlet or something that they love and that they're connected to, and they can still experience joy and love and compassion and things like that, then I don't see why not.
Hmm. Hmm. Indeed. All right. Uh let's keep this thing going. I'm trying to see. All right, let me get rid of this weirdo right here. Let me get rid of a weirdo real quick. All right, let's keep going. Uh
Yeah.
Shout out to King Simon while I find a question.
King Simon in the building.
Yeah,
What's good, bro?
shout out to King Simon in the chat. Yeah, I don't see. Okay, well, do herbs enhance our spiritual DNA?
Definitely, because plants have their own spirit. If you study any culture, well, majority of them, I can't speak for them all, but majority of ones I know about, the forest, the jungle, the woods is always known as the spirit realm.
Mhm.
When you enter into the forest, when you enter into the jungle, when you enter the woods, you're entering into the spiritual world. And the forest is composed of nothing but plants. These plants are amazing entities. They talk to each other. They got the mycelium network. They send oils and pheromones. When you walk through a forest, you forest bathe because you are bathing essentially in the terpenes and the oils of the plants. So you're getting their essences. You can feel the vibration of these plants and these entities as you touch them and you sit around them. So yes, when you consume them, when you have a tincture, when you have an infusion, when you have a decoction, when you are inhaling the aroma and the fumes of the oils, the essence of that plant is, yes, going inside of you, and it helps to reset you because of its primitive primal state and having such a connection with the earth and the heavens by the dichotomy of its roots and its leaf structure, um, um, connecting and bridging the gap between those two worlds.
Mhm. You mentioned copper earlier. The brother want to know, does wearing copper, not just eating it, but does wearing it reverse aging as well?
Yeah, it helps. It helps. You just got to make sure that you keep cleaning it, because you notice it darkens and gets oxidized very quickly, depending upon like what your spirit and soul's going through. So you got to make sure you keep that copper clean, with that lemon. You know what I mean? Keep that thing sheen and shiny.
Indeed.
But it definitely helps. It definitely helps. Wearing copper cups. What is the most expensive cookware? Copper cookware. You go to Williams and Sonoma, they got the copper cookware there. You cook your food in the copper.
Yeah. All right. What are good herbs to help with bone density loss as we age?
Oh yeah, that's the purple sea moss for sure. Yeah.
Mm.
Purple Conjures Crispus available right now. Oh, so we got the spring revival package, right? We got the new size with the honey, right? And then we got a spring sale going on right now on selected items. You get 33% off. So if you get the purple sea moss right now, you're gonna save like, I don't know, $15 off of it or something like that. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Okay. Um, what? All right. What can I use to improve blood oxygen?
Kukumeka. Kukumeka, which is in the package that I just spoke of, but you can also get on its own. That's another item that is on sale. You'll get a discount off of it. But Kukumeka is good for creating more hemoglobin. It gives your body more iron, so it can carry more oxygen. And that thing, the Kukumeka dyes the water red, looks almost like blood, and it's a very mild flavor to it, and it pairs well with other herbs. I would couple it with mucilage, Kukumeka and mucilage. Amazing combination for the blood right there.
You know,
Amazing.
KT, so I know I've talked to the metaphysical dudes about the I've heard some of the new age people, you watch them shows on Gaia and stuff like that. They'll say often that we're going from carbon-based beings to
Silicon.
silicone-based being, and
All
with
right.
the DNA is changing.
Mm-hmm.
The silicone being a replacement for carbon, and the pairing that gets done with the nucleotide pairs, and it's an evolution that's happening with our DNA. What is your thoughts on that right there?
I don't know if it's an evolution, so to speak, as I think that may be a state we were in previously.
Okay.
Carbon and silica in the same column on the periodic table. So, their valence is very similar. So
Mhm.
that's why there's a lot of relation. So, when you deal with um, solar panels that they're made of silicon, but they're doped with phosphorus and they're doped with boron, they're doped with elements. This is what creates the semiconductive properties that allows the sunlight to get converted into electricity. Well, we're carbon based. So the same way that panel is silica, we're carbon with our collagen, right? And with us being carbon, we are doped with copper, doped with zinc, doped with magnesium, doped with these elements. So we create those same semiconductor properties to convert light into electricity as well. Now, when you look at the reset that took place, there's something called let me see if I can find real quick. There's the petrified forest. You've heard of the petrified forest, right?
Yeah.
And these trees are, I got a picture here. Hold on one second, y'all. It was in December. The trees are like crystalline, and they say that they it happened that way because the tree got trapped under a tree got trapped under a bunch of mud and didn't have oxygen, and the minerals went through it and it became crystal like that. But nah. Let's see. Can you see that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a petrified slice of wood right there. That's like jasper and all of the gemstones. That didn't happen being caught up in no mud. There was a time where the trees were crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's proof right there. I took that picture in a gem shop. It was like this big, bro.
Mm.
Pick it up like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Like if you saw that in person, you'd be like, you know what I mean? So I feel that we've devolved. I think we've been in a higher state of being, but it's just difficult for me to let go of melanin because melanin is just divine and it's carbon based. I don't know about no silicon based melanin. I know melanin combined with selenium is magical stuff right there. You know what I mean? So, and then when you see a lot of these shows on Gaia and everything like that, we ain't the ones talking.
Yeah,
They leave us out the conversation all the time. Like they talk about all these ancient temples, they talk about all these ancient societies, they talk about all these ancient technologies, they talk about all this genetic superiority and everything from evolving, and they never talk about our people. they leave us out all the time. So it's like it's difficult for me to follow what they talking about because you as enlightened as you are, as much as your pineal gland is activated, as much as your frequency is like on gamma, and the archangel Michael has from Pleiades has given you the translation to come to us and tell us this information, you still can't not be racist, bro.
Bro, they will gaslight the shit out of you, KT, and say, I don't see color. What? You're on a low vibration, KT. Why are you mentioning race?
If you don't see color, then why the hell is your heart chakra green? Why is your throat chakra blue? Why is your lapis blue? Why is your gold? Why is the money you asking for to pay for this presentation green, brother?
Bro, they got hella game.
Don't give me none of that.
They got hella game, KT. I don't see color.
Of course you don't see color because
that is so low vibrational.
No, it's white. White is reflected. Black is absorbed.
That is so low vibrational of you.
White reflects light and black absorbs.
Why would you even bring up race, KT? My goodness. No. They be gaslight like a motherfucker.
Listen, man.
Oh man, let's get to one more question. Let me see what y'all talk about.
Where is the melanin conversation on Gaia? Who's talking about melanin?
Nah, that's like
what?
Oh, they not.
I want to talk about the pineal gland, but you ain't talking about the locus ceruleus or the stance nigra, or all the neuromelanin that allows the pineal gland to do what it do.
That's like a forbidden word on that channel, bro. They not.
What?
That shit is forbidden.
That's like anti-mimetic.
Yep.
Anti-prophetic.
All right. Somebody asked this question, or this is another word I don't know how to pronounce. Are you familiar with, or can you speak on what is this right here, KT? Microgyna
speciosa. I don't know that one. At least not by his scientific name. If there's a common name for it, maybe I'll know it. Where is it from? What it do?
Yo, KT, somebody said that's on the shows at 2 a.m. Remember BT? They had BT Uncut. It came on.
Yeah.
It's like BT Uncut, bro. You only get it after midnight, my nigga.
After midnight.
That shit is reserved for after midnight, bro.
Terrible, man.
God damn, man. Oh, man. All right, so I think we got a fun show, a great show. I hope y'all really got some game today on reversing your age. Let me see. What is it? Let me just add, because this person keeps asking this. I think it's the same person. Ways to help with hyperpigmentation.
The Nesu Nectar helps with that. You could put that on anywhere you got the dark spots. Lemon do that. Lemon juice does that too. Lemon peels do
Right.
that. Yeah.
All right. All right, family. I think we are going to wrap it up. Shout out to everybody who was a part of the fast with me and the brother KT. I
Yeah.
had absolutely magnificent time. I
Had
hope
a
you.
good time on there.
Yeah,
Appreciate all the support. Some
indeed.
good questions on there, but they really kind of held their own. A lot of people just looking out for each other, so I didn't even have to answer too much, But yeah, big shout out to everybody who participated in that.
Yeah, excellent. KT's link is in the chat. King Simon is sharing the link in
Yeah,
the chat.
soionicbotanicals.com. Also, when you go to my Instagram or my YouTube or my TikTok, I have a link tree. It'll take you right there. Also, any show that I've done with Rich, the link is in the description. You could click on it that way as well. Yes, if you go early in the show, the last slide, I got the website up, so you can go there.
Indeed. With that being said, once again, family, tomorrow night, Raku will be on 9 p.m. All right, 9 p.m. tomorrow night. And I think that's it, right, KT? That's it.
Yeah, that's all. I think that's it, man. I know we're gonna double back next week because we got a nice other show.
Yeah,
for
we
the
got a
people.
good one coming up with some new technology that
Yeah,
we want to talk to y'all about. So that's going to be a real good one right
that's
there.
gonna be tough right there.
All right. Hey, with that being said, KT, thanks once again, my brother.
Thank you, brother.
With the fresh cut, this is a new KT, a new and improved KT family. He got rid of the fro, you know what I'm saying? Oh man. So hey, KT, I'm gonna talk to you soon, family. Have a good night. I will see all of y'all tomorrow night.
Peace and love, y'all.
Peace, family. Peace, family. I'll see y'all tomorrow.